No.
All right. Good night, folks. Good night. Hold on. Let's bring our announcer. You know the drill.
Sing live with Lyndon and Jared.
Yeah.
So,
Try to have to complete now.
yes, go. Laters. Good night, folks. Hey, John Ruman. Good night. Digital Jamaica. Good night. How are you all doing?
John, good night. Yes. Digital Jamaica, Digital Troja.
Yes, that's Ja.
Yeah. That's Ja.
So, Lyndon, we have an interesting one tonight. So, folks, just to give you a little topic, give you a little insight, Lyndon, I was just talking about the future of what's happening in Trinidad and Tobago, and I think the Caribbean and a wider region. And Seru! Hold on, that's my boy from Italy. Sorry. Let's get hype when I see him. And Chrissy. So here's what's happening, right? Lyndon and I have realized we're in a bad state with what's happening in Trinidad and Tobago. Would you agree, Lyndon?
Yeah,
And
hold on.
Why are you not invited?
That's
on
what I'm
IG?
going to do. You gotta join me on IG.
You're on Opatsui. You not there?
Am I? Hold
You're
on.
on Opatsui.
Oh,
You're on
no.
Opatsui profile.
No, I'm looking at you here on as Lyndon Bradford. Let's do this.
I don't have Lyndon
What?
Bradford coming up, so I only have
What? Oh,
Opatsui.
my goodness. Okay, hold
Good
on.
night,
Hang on.
Carol Employment. Good night. So while Lyndon is waiting to join here on the IG side, we were just talking tonight about the state of where Trinidad is as an economy in the Caribbean region just because of what is taking place with the pandemic. And we just started to realize that as crazy as this sounds, like Lyndon, I'm seeing you there. Make a request to join now. Like,
You see me there as what? Lyndon Bradford? Okay, good. Right.
yeah.
Cool.
So let's make a request and I'll just add you.
Nice. Yeah, we good to go.
And-
Nice.
Yes, I'm seeing you. And one of the things that we started to realize was that there's a huge amount of opportunity awaiting us. Isn't that right?
That's correct.
Yeah. We
That
have
is
a
correct.
ridiculous amount of opportunity. So, right. So we have Lyndon and this Caribbean girl. Good day. How you doing? So, as we get Lyndon on board, given all the craziness that's happening with the economy, I think it's safe to say, and I'm going to say it bold just to start off with everything, there's a huge amount of opportunity for everyone. All of us, the entrepreneurs, the consultants, the ones who are doing the services, there's a huge amount of opportunity for every single one of us on the market. I truly, truly believe that, just given the fact that what's going to happen is that everybody's going to require some sort of upskilling, some sort of new business insight, which you're all providing, and that's where we're going to hold the advantage because companies
That's
right
correct.
now don't have the skill set.
That's correct. And you know, while I was thinking about it, and I have a flip to throw with this, right? While I was thinking about it, I think this is something that we've been seeing since maybe about the last 18 months, right?
Yeah.
I remember last year in one of the webinars that I did, I spoke about the skill set of marketers needing to be raised a level, especially those marketers who are in B2B organizations. Also, some of the digital marketers who are doing some work for those B2B organizations, they have to kind of raise their skills too from what we're not seeing. But there's a lot of, as Jared is saying, there's a lot of skills, or there's a lot of opportunity for us as entrepreneurs, for those of you in those spaces that we just sort of spoke about, because companies need to reposition themselves. They're recognizing now that they have a shortfall in terms of skill set. So what do we do now to now position ourselves in that direction? I don't want to jump into my caveat just yet, Jared, but let's expand on the whole scope of the opportunities and stuff. I'll maybe share something that happened with me recently.
Yes, so let's explain the opportunity. Let's talk about this first, right? So number one, our buyers have changed. So in other words, not only who buys, but more importantly, how they buy.
Oh, right.
Right? Hey, Cooper 868. And I think that is something you all need to actually sit down and consider. So for everybody who's out there as a consultant, let me tell you how you can position yourself and have an advantage right now. And that is literally by being more visible. As we said, we're talking about the theme of what we're reaching out on the 17th. It is mind share before market share. A lot of the work that you're going to be putting in now is what is going to reap your results 3 months, 6 months, much later down the road. But if you don't put any work now, you may get some of the pie later, but you're definitely not going to get as much as you deserve because you haven't been putting any work. And
Yeah.
I would say this easily for everyone. There's enough for every single one of
Business.
us.
Yeah.
I kid you not, for everybody who has a business and has a competitor in their field, you cannot handle the entire market. There's enough business for every single one of us, and you have to make sure and position yourself to take advantage.
Yeah, and that's correct. I mean, I don't know if anybody would have done their what do you call it? Their total addressable market thing and just kind of looked at what the size is. But I mean, you and I have looked at it a couple of times, and really and truly, our business is in the billions of dollars. You know, so it's really what percentage do we want to get that? What percentage do we want to start making from that? And if you guys look at what your space is, and then really start to pay attention to, okay, this might actually be the opportunity for me to really showcase myself and my skill set, then you will realize that your scope of your opportunities is endless. And you may even recognize that there are certain areas within your business that of the same thing that Jared and I are talking about that you are not even touching right now. Because one of the things that I've recognized, JB, is that there's always been areas since last year to now that of things that I could do. It's not
Yeah.
because I want to just say, well, I have all this skill and I could do, but I've tested different things. I've built websites for customers. I've helped customers in other areas, and that is just me testing the range of services that I could offer. Am I, Lyndon Bradford, going to offer everything? No. What it means now is that I can now reach out to say, okay, bro, I need to get help with this. Customer needs to get a website. Bro, I need to get help with that. Customer needs to get some social media support, that kind of stuff. So again, you being the lead though, you could be the person championing that entire methodology or process or solution and pull those customers into you, and then you just share it accordingly based upon what that project is.
So let me highlight something of what's the first thing you want to do if you understand that there is potential in the market. Let me tell you what's one of the main things that you want to do, right? You want to collaborate
Mm-hmm.
immediately. Because like you'll see here from Lyndon and myself, like just before the call we were talking and we were just making a joke. Like Lyndon and I are complete opposites, but we go towards the same goal. So I was making a joke. I'm like the auctioneer at one of those sites. Like, no, 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 who's gonna buy? Who's gonna buy? Gonna buy 10, 15, 20, and I'm always talking fast and active. Lyndon is an airline pilot. He's always cool and calm, and it's a soothing voice. But here's the other opposites now, right? I am the inbound channel for our business because I put out the content, and that brings in the opportunities that we do for ourselves and individually. But Lyndon also does a lot of prospecting. So that means that Lyndon is the outbound channel for our business, which is two key things that a lot of companies don't actually get a lot of the times. So collaborating is one of the ways that you're actually going to get a larger piece of the pie and how you
Yeah.
actually get further together in the market. We're not saying form partnerships and contracts and all these things, but what we're saying at minimum is that if you know that you provide something but you're weak in one area, but you know there's a colleague or friend who could provide that, and you could get an entire contract instead of the customer outsourcing it somewhere, you need to take advantage of that now.
Yeah. And I mean, I want to just, can I want to tease people with the what the possibilities are like. And I know sometimes people are on a not always comfortable talking about their opportunities, but I was sharing with Jared today, guys, that even with me taking an approach to some customers, I kind of opened up a new space for myself to provide some services, all time back into sales, right? And it started with me kind of learning the specific approaches and techniques of email marketing. And that one email marketing email I did kind of it's earning me north of 20K, right? Now I'm sure that you guys would love to have a situation like that where you find something or you find a niche and you reach out to a specific industry or reach out to us, we get the ability to do that. Here's the other thing with that though. I am not the only person delivering on that solution. At least I wouldn't be when I get to the later phases of the project, because now I have the ability of bringing other partners in to say, okay, this is what I need now. This is what we need to do at this particular phase. So it's all delivering one solution, but
Yep.
again, you being the lead. But for us, what it requires of us now is that we now need to start sitting back and saying, okay, what is it that the customer is really asking for? Um, and what is it that I can definitely offer, even if it's not your immediate skill set, as Jared is saying. start work on building out that network portfolio that we like to talk about, so that we will know all of the people within our portfolios that we can leverage on and leverage where necessary when those opportunities arise.
Hey, Jamie Ramprasad, good night. That's my amazing photographer who took all my profile pictures. But yeah, Lyndon, I mean, excellent point. So I just think, as crazy as times are right now, it is still like, I won't say the end of the tunnel, but we know there's light. And I think, as hard as it's been for a lot of us out there, this is the time where, honestly, I think your sanity is going to lie in being active. Your sanity is going to lie in having these conversations. Right? And I think that is where your opportunity is going to be. So, Jamie, just an excellent timing, Jamie. So, let's give everybody a little bit of an update. We are just talking about on the fact that the pandemic has changed the way persons buy, it has changed the way the persons do business. But more importantly, it has opened up the need for a lot of us who are experts in our field. It has shown the fact that we no longer pay or go to one company for everything. We could get 3, 4, 5 individuals who are very niche, who are very experts in what they do to execute activities for us, and it's still going to cost companies about 50% less. Right? So I want to switch this back to the companies now who are watching it. For some of the business owners who will be looking at this later on, are you prepared to make that investment? Because I've seen so many of you taking shortcuts and like, I was giving Lyndon an example where a company decided not to go with my training proposal, but decided, yeah, we're going to get across some online sites and somebody facilitate it internally.
Yeah. And that in itself does not do anything for the organization, for anybody. And the interesting is that is actually the same caveat I was going to throw in. So we're thinking along the same lines. Right? So there are many companies who will say, so there are many companies who will say, oh, you know what? I think what we'll do is we'll do this for now and see how things go. But again, the thing is too, and this is why big companies win, right? There are one or two big companies that JB and I have been speaking with that are willing to make the investment. And it's not because they have the budget. It's just that they understand now is the time to use the opportunities to start scaling and start getting their people ready for post whatever the situation is, as opposed to where a lot of companies now may look at this opportunity as saying, oh, let's play it safe. There isn't any play it safe.
Safe ain't going on with. Safe, listen, safe means you're standing still. You cannot be standing still right now. Like, I'm telling you, so like, I almost hate saying these words because I said it at the start of this year, and I know some people didn't like how I said it. And I said, if you thought 2020 was bad, I said 2021 was the year that's going to literally like and leave you on the side of the road. And the ones who are on the side of the road are the ones who decide to stay still and not move. And not moving is a mistake. So like Jamie here saying it correct, for those of you who are not on Instagram, many companies are cautious in their spending, but it makes them cut their expenses in the wrong areas. Exactly. 100% right, Jamie. That's what I'm seeing companies doing. Right? Look, Myra's chiming in as well. Safe means you're standing still. You don't want to be standing still right now. So I want to give this as a pep talk to everybody, for all of us out there who are entrepreneurs and we are shut down right now and we can't do what we could do. I'm telling you, now is the time where you need to be active. Now is the time where you need to have conversations with customers. It's not about selling. It's about just having conversations. You want to be ready when everything is over to just help people immediately, because they would be ready. There is a market for every single one of us. There's no doubt. There's not enough people to train. There's not enough people to do marketing. There's not enough people to do social media, to do digital marketing, to do photography, to do anything. There's not enough. The market is going to be huge for us in the Caribbean in the next 6 to 12 months.
Yeah, and it really means too that, and this is me always taking examples from Jared in terms of building that presence, because where a large percentage of the market is going to start showing up first is online. You understand? So we need to get into that space of where we want to make sure that we dominate, or we show up. Not so much so dominate, but we show up or we start showing up, having the right messaging, putting out your content consistently, that type of stuff. Because at the end of the day, I mean, sometimes I may not have as large as an audience size as others, but it's funny because sometimes after I put messages out, I get responses. I get, "Hey, Lyndon, I really appreciate this," or I see people bookmarking my stuff. So again, it's you need to be doing that because it's a big part of building your relationships. And the way things go now is that people are lurkers before, and then after a while, when they are ready or when they know someone that's ready, they then pass that information on. So don't sleep on the opportunity to build your brand, whether it's company brand, personal brand, should be both, right? Start reaching out to your customers, start looking at where you want to be able to expand on your services. Because here's the other thing too, right? And this is not to sound bad. There are other institutions, there are other companies, or some of your own quote unquote competitors who are scaling back on the business. They don't know what to do. So what's happening is that you're having a little bit more space for you to play.
Yep.
So that is almost as though your competitor is going out of business. So you are now getting the opportunity to slip in and say, "Hey, wait a minute, that's additional market share for me. How do I go about getting that?" So again, I've seen it. There's one or two people that's in the space of training that not as present as they used to be, not just here but internationally or regionally. So you use those things as opportunities to kind of expand on the new markets.
And I want to go back on Lyndon point and just say good night to everybody on LinkedIn who's watching me. Just talking about the opportunities there for entrepreneurs in the pandemic to sell their products and services in the next 6 to 12 months. So here's something that's interesting, right? Lyndon brought up a good point. Lyndon doesn't post as much as I do, but Lyndon still gets opportunities. Like just last week, Lisa was telling me, she's like, she posted just something the other day and it got her clients. And I was like, imagine if you did that every day. Like, that's all I think about my content. Like, every time I get an opportunity, I just think, am I posting enough? I need to post more. And let me just go to a couple of comments here. So Digital Trojan is saying, you guys are right. There's going to be an influx of business. The small, medium, and business category employs over 200,000 plus people. When it opens up, what you guys think is going to happen? I was like, yep, it's going to be a floodgate. Finesse Financial Services, good night. And then Jamie saying, they cut marketing first, and that's crazy because this is the time to market. So when things are open, you'll be at the top of the mind of your customers. Yep. And Digital Trojan again is saying, you got to be willing to ride this out until the wheels smoke. I love that one. Ride this out until the wheels. Nah, trust me, you might think me sounding crazy saying this, but like, think about it. Everybody now when things are open up, they're trying to recover. They are literally trying to recover. And if they're trying to recover, is to do it in the best way, in the fastest possible time. As a business, with how much entrepreneurs and consultants that have out there, you could literally do this and pick a great expert.
Yeah. And again, too, I want to say too, bro, that if we can help customers, if we can help our own customers. So like, okay, for instance, look at what Jared and I are doing, right? We are helping give you guys some insight, some inspiration to say, you know what these guys in there are saying is pretty good. I feel a little bit more encouraged now. What if now you start doing this for your own customers, all right? To kind of give them back the belief that, you know what, I like what Lyndon is saying, or I like what Jamie is saying, or I like what Selena is saying, because I see where the direction is. Sometimes all the customers need is the right guidance from their consultants, right? And again, too, just to finish, if it is that if we weren't showing up as consultants before, now is the time, because guess what? People are paying more attention. Now is the time. People are paying. And again, let me just say one last point. Liaising with a client today, as much as things are tough in their industry, one of the industries that will hit first, the exercise that we are supporting them on is expansion. Again, they are thinking post-pandemic. So they're doing all the groundwork now, liaising with all the people that they need to liaise with now, because by the time that people raise their heads, when they look around, they say, wait a minute, how did they do that? So why should we be doing anything less?
Exactly. So Haji766 is saying, I think it's important to inform your customers why your product is needed instead of low price offers. Absolutely right. Absolutely. And earlier today I was actually posting on Instagram. Anybody who's watching could check out these stories, and I was explaining to you For anybody who's hesitant trying to figure out how do I have conversations with customers, that's exactly what you need to do. Just have a conversation. They already know the company you're calling from, most likely if you've had previous conversations with them. But what you're doing now, especially if you're trying to, if you're prospecting, what you actually have to focus on now is your message. Because everybody might want to push you off and say, you know what, Lyndon, now is not the best time because, you know, with COVID and everything. And my thing is, no, now is the best time. What are you doing? Like, I understand you have priorities, but you do have free time. And if it is that you say it takes you 6 months or 6 weeks to make a buying decision, why don't we have the conversation now? Give you all the information you need to make a decision so you can decide, right, when the doors open, we could do 4 projects. Why not start the conversation now? That's what we all need to be doing with our clients, with our prospects.
Jared and I did oh my goodness, Jared and I did an objection handling, sorry about that, on Instagram. I got cut off there, right? So
Yeah.
Jared and I did an objection handling exercise a couple of weeks ago, and one of the things that came up with that question, JB, is what changes between now and 6 weeks?
Yeah. And let me shout out to Morgan J. Ingram for that. Anytime a customer says they're waiting for the next 6 weeks, ask them what's going to happen, because we know what's going to happen. Things may open back up, and that means that you won't be prepared. And it can't work like that. You need to actually be prepared now. You cannot wait for things to happen. It's not going to. You see, like, think about it. And somebody mentioned it this the other day. Think how fast this happens, right? The market right now converted to e-commerce, I think 12 months or 18 months faster than they originally projected, you know.
Yeah.
Can you imagine that?
Yep.
They sped up the e-commerce at least by 12 months. So what do you think is going to happen when you wait 6 weeks? Look how much things has happened since then. You really want to wait? No. You honestly need to be prepared now. Hey, Trim, what's going on? Right? So for those who now join in, let's just give you a little updates on the conversation. Right? There's a pandemic. We know. Things are bad. We know. We understand. But there are things we could do as entrepreneurs. And the reason why we want to be doing these things as entrepreneurs is because the opportunity that's going to be there for us in the next 6 to 12 months is going to be ridiculous. It is hard right now. I'm telling you, I'm feeling it, and I'm hearing it from my colleagues. But now is not the time to stop. We cannot stop right now. We cannot stop.
I also want to talk or just share the message of thinking beyond TNT for those of us based upon what your businesses are, because there is business. Yes, we want to get business in Trinidad and stuff like that, but there is business in Jamaica, Guyana, Barbados, St. Vincent and the Grenadines. I mean, believe us, Jared and I know what we're talking about.
Remote work is the flick.
You understand? So there is business out there. There are people looking for support out there as well. And you know what's funny? Some of them may be faster adopters to your solutions than what we have here, than people in Trinidad and Tobago. So you may be fighting to sell the conversation to the customer here in Trinidad, but you may realize that people in Jamaica are much more open. They're much more, how should I say, risk-taking. And their economy, I mean, we know what their foreign exchange is, that kind of thing. We know the situation that's with COVID. But they may just be a lot more.
Everybody have foreign exchange issues.
You know, so again, broaden your scope as well, and start looking to see, okay, where can I provide those additional services outside of Trinidad? Because again, too, you know, we all want foreign exchange, right? I mean, that works well for us too.
Right? But let us know, everybody who's listening, are you seeing those same opportunities? Do you think we are crazy with our prediction, or do you think it's actually something that could happen?
Yeah, good night, Mackay Jeffers. What's up?
Hey,
and
what's up,
Eddie
man?
Fisher. Yeah.
Let us know, because I'm willing to bet money on this. I'm willing to put money on this and look back in this next 6 months, Lyndon. I'll probably remind on my phone. Literally just saying how awesome is it right now.
Yeah. So someone is saying, I think it's Haji766 is saying, yes, here in Barbados, e-commerce has exploded. Yep. I remember meeting a colleague, Shannon. Gosh, I can't remember his last name, but from Barbados as well. Right, Shannon Clark, right? And we had a conversation earlier part of this year, if I'm not mistaken. And I mean, he's busy with e-commerce, you know. So again, there is scope, there is opportunity. We just have to work on expanding on it. And even if, let's just say this for folks whose industries, whose customers fall in industries that's affected, right? So it's slow for them. What you could be doing is ramping up your presence, your communication styles, your activity in some sort of way, so that you keep building on the momentum of you, right? So that you keep showing up. So when things do open up, or when you start getting that flood of requests, or when customers are not ready, you now are leading that. You are now the mind share monopolist in that space, because of the fact that you've done all the work to be the magnet. Something online, customers are not ready for it. You can still call you back. They'll call you back.
Yeah, that's it. Listen, and Mariella saying it's here excellent as well, which is the uncertainty clients feel right now they would not want to feel again. Exactly. Listen, there's so many times we don't want to get caught with our pants down, right? And I'll keep reiterating it. I'm seeing it happening. The opportunities are there. What I want you to do is just start having the conversations. It's not about selling. It's about making sure the customer is educated to understand what it is that they need to do to be better, because that's what companies want to do. Let's recover money faster. Let's be able to sell better to our customers. Let's provide more avenues for them to swipe their card or to pay us for our services. Right? We cannot afford right now to sit down and wait, especially when we know there's a massive pie that's going to be served.
Yeah.
Right?
And keep in mind too, those.
That's how digital is saying, I'm all chips in. Once things are lifted, the floodgates will open. Businesses got to prepare themselves for it. Yep.
Yeah, and just one point there too, because sometimes when you start listening to your customers, this is something I always say to Karen. Sometimes what we want to deliver, the customers no longer they have a specific need for that. They actually asking for something else. So, but it doesn't mean that you can't deliver it. So if you start talking to those customers now and keeping your finger on the pulse of what's happening, you can now realize, wait a minute, my business now needs to shift a little bit, right? So I now need to make certain adjustments to my portfolio or my deliverables to customers to be able to now service them as soon as they need to get the support.
Yeah. Ajay from Barbados also saying a lot of companies have created mini local Amazon delivery services literally covering all scopes. If I'm not mistaken, we pay launch me shops so people can actually put their products and services on their site for people to buy. Like, it's happening, folks. The opportunity, and I'll go back to this because a lot of people disagree with me on this. You could tell me in the chat, in the comments, let me know. But this is something I strongly believe in. Yes, and I keep saying it, yes. What is happening worldwide is happening worldwide. But on micro level, there's still people who are not affected by the pandemic. And that is who we need to be targeting as well. So I see a lot of persons shutting down entirely when there's still lots of means and avenues that they could actually still sell their products and services. So and what they've done is that they've shut down entirely, so you're no longer visible, so you're not even getting that portion of the pie. And then when things open up and the pie gets bigger, you're missing out on even more because your colleagues and persons who are staying active, they're getting the larger pieces. They're taking on way too much work than they can handle, but they have no choice because you didn't step up to the table. That's what we need to do right now.
Yep. I don't think there's anything else I could say there. No. I think we kind of
covered. I don't know if anybody could give us some comments. Let us know. Let us know how you're feeling. Let us know what you're seeing in the next 6 months. But look, Kevin is saying definitely. Yeah, I'm telling you, I'll put money on this. The opportunity is there. If you're willing to bet me wrong, let me know.
It is.
It's a hard time right now, but trust me, you ain't want to wait.
Yeah,
Don't stand still,
say,
folks.
I mean, I would just let you guys know I've been pushing conversations apart from Trinidad, in Jamaica, in Guyana, in Barbados. Again, it's just I'm pushing the conversations. Yes, in Trinidad, I don't know, but there are similar companies and industries in those places as well that are experiencing similar things and they have similar goals. Again, why should you only fix your market to here alone? So let's really start looking like flexing your muscles to really go out there and show up in those spaces. You never know. You may just find the right opportunities outside as well.
Yeah, and there's tons of opportunities because, like, for example, like Damien, and shout out to Damien because he is actually one of our attendees in the conference,
Mhm.
right? Jamie is saying when things go back, it's going to be a mini boom economically. Agreed. It's going to be big for small businesses. So, like, if I was Damien, I would have videos on every single car I have, every single color.
Yep.
Inside, out. I have a video on all. Test drive video, everything. I have videos on all. And I have it every time it comes out because if for any reason there's a lockdown again, you want to make sure you have
it.
visibility.
Exactly.
You have content to put out. Like I told this to some of my real estate clients last year and they didn't listen and it's like, look, we locked down again. Where's the content? Do you have videos on this? Do you have videos on that? No. And I'm like, but I told you this.
Yeah.
Why don't you have the content? Right? So trust me. But not for me, and I'm saying the same. I don't think there's much I can tell persons right now except there's opportunity.
Yeah. There's opportunity. And I think this ties in well to and this is not even a plug, but this is the philosophy, guys, right? This ties in well to exactly what we're talking about with the conference, where we talk about mind share before market share. Right now, you have to build on your mind share. Use the time to start building more on your mind share. Content, data, presence, strategy, you name it, all being covered on June the 17th. But even if it wasn't that wasn't the case, just take everything that Jared and I are telling you just take it and use it, and you'll definitely get the results that you're looking for.
And I want to point out something, Damien. I know you're saying you have the YouTube videos on most of the models. I mean you, Damien, not Kia Motors, not Southern Sales. You. People don't want to buy Kia and Southern Sales. People want to buy Damien. Damien sold me this car, not Southern Sales. No, wrong. Sorry, Lifestyle Motors, Damien. Southern Sales, stop. Lifestyle Motors didn't send me this vehicle. Damien sold me this car. Damien sold me my Chevy. Nobody sold me anything else. So that is what they want. That is what they want, Damien. They want you to sell them.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I'm telling persons right now. It's not about your company and their content. It's about you and what you're putting out there.
Yeah.
So even if you can right now, and there's no possibility to be in your showrooms, you have to wait, get that content and keep it on your phone, and post it as you.
Mm-hmm.
For every industry that's here. That's just our advice tonight, folks. That's it. Shout out to everybody who's taking advantage on the Group for You ticket, right? Which is $267 for tickets now.
Yeah.
If you do have an extra person to take advantage of the buy to get one, they can buy a single ticket, folks. We have you organized.
We have you covered.
Make the purchase, right? So take advantage. June 17th is going to be awesome, but more importantly, the next 6 to 12 months is going to be ridiculously good.
Yeah, and you have to feel that way about it too. So as much as it's hard, you have to feel extremely optimistic. Come out there with a level of optimism.
Yep.
And crush it.
Yeah. Last tip: if a customer asks you how things going, don't say, "Well, you saw everything will be locked down." Stop that. Ask them a question. Say, "Well, it depends. What are you looking for? What are you trying to accomplish?"
Yep.
And help your customers. Don't be the doom and gloom. If anybody asks me, "Hey, how things going?" Damn good. What do you need? What can I help you with?
Mm-hmm.
One time. Because people want to be associated with the ones who are doing something, not the ones who open with the crowd.
Yep.
When how things, boy? How things?
Well, things hard, boy.
Things are hard, boy. Fighting up. Fighting the good fight. Nobody want to hear that crap. Get here with that nonsense. Jeez. This is our time, folks.
Is that too much of that happening?
Right? Let's do it.
All right.
Have a good night, everybody.
Haji 766, thank you very much, and you guys take care over there in Barbados as well. Peace.
Yeah. Have a good night, everybody. Stay safe. Get your tickets. DM us if you have any questions.
All right.